Hello everyone, True Zero Emissions here. Okay, we're here with the Wolf King GT Pro today, and every day is a good day when I'm riding this scooter. I don't know how to tell you how happy I am, how grateful I am to have this scooter, how happy I am to ride this scooter, and how much I like this scooter. It's really, really great. That's a nice bike right there. I don't know what it is. Very nice. Okay, back to the Wolf King GT Pro. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of micro-mobility out here. Lots of electric bicycles, electric motorcycles, just everything electric. Really great. Okay, so back to the scooter. So I want to try something. I was just talking about how I said, does the Wolf King GT Pro have a walk mode? Okay, well, it doesn't have a button we can just push that's for walking speed, right? Like the Segway GT, the Segway GT2 has. It has a walk mode where I can just push a button, right? Very nice feature. I also like how the Segway GT2, when you stop, it goes into park by itself. I love that. And I wish this had it because it seems like almost every time I ride the scooter's launching out of my hand. It did it today too. I was going through the drive-thru and I don't even know how I hit this button, but somehow I bumped it and the scooter jumped and I reached up and grabbed the handlebar. I don't know how I've been so lucky to be able to grab the scooter that quick. I don't know how that happens, but I've been able to grab it every single time. I've had this thing do a wheelie on me, and I'm holding it with one hand while it's wheeling, and the tires are spinning. And then I let off, but I still hold the grip. I've been very lucky with that. But with the Segway, I never had that problem because you stop and it goes into park. I love that. So I really grew to appreciate that more and more as I've thought about the comparison of what it's like to have something so powerful, because I ride this in the powerful settings, and then to take off on me like that when I stop and I just forget that it's in a powerful setting, right? So I do like that feature, and I think if this scooter could come with that as an option where you can turn that on or off, I think that would be a great feature where it goes into park after this, whatever Segway did, I think it's 1.5 seconds, it goes into park. However they did it, I would say study that scooter and then make your own version of that if is one way to think of it. But and I'm talking about the company that makes this. If they could do that, if they could make this thing have an option of where it goes into park, that would be really great. Right now, I was thinking, okay, I'm thinking about my other scooter. So I'm thinking about my previous favorite scooter was the Dualtron Storm, and it was the Up version. The Up had a larger battery. I think it had a 35 amp hour battery versus like maybe a 33 amp hour battery. So it had more capacity, right? Okay, so this has a 35 amp hour battery, which is great. I would like to see something larger. I would like to see double that. There's enough room there. There's so much space under this scooter. This can have an extra battery down there. And the new one, the GTR, has even more space. So it'd be nice to be able to have a double battery there. I'm gonna keep talking about that because I like lots of range, right? That's just something I like a lot. So going to something, okay, so right now I'm comparing my Dualtron Storm and what I liked about it. And I remember riding that scooter, and I remember being able to ride, I don't remember the settings that it was called, but there was a setting over here, and I think I would change the setting to like eco. It might have been eco mode or something. I'm not sure, I don't recall the name of what it was called. Whatever, there's a way to turn the power down though. I think it was eco mode, right? And I remember the scooter being able to go 25 miles per hour and getting there quick. Like it can go to 25 miles an hour and it would get there quick, and I could go really, really far on that setting. And I was thinking about this and I thought, oh, I just learned recently that I can program this even more than I realized. I can program this more than I realized. And I can actually, because right now, I can change the settings. So right now it has the default. If I understand correctly, please check this for yourself. I'm going to turn this off and back on so I can get into the menu, because I think you have to do it when you first turn the scooter on. So I'm going to turn it on. And I think when I first turn it on, and passcode has to be turned on, I have both passcode on. I have advanced settings passcode on, and I have when you first turn the scooter passcode on, which I think is called display passcode. Okay, so I'm going to turn, I don't know if you have to turn the power all the way up and put dual motor on. I do though. And then I'm going to hold this. Wait. This has to be done quick. See, I didn't do it quick enough. Okay, if that comes up, it means I didn't do it quick enough. So let's do this again. So I'm going to try to make this match my favorite setting on my Dualtron Storm, which was it would go 25 miles an hour and it would get there quick, but also have full regen. See, right now when I ride this on setting 2, I like the power it has just for cruising around on power level 2. Some people call it gear 2, but it's not really a gear, right? It's a power level, right? I like that, but I want more braking. I want my full regen brakes, right? Because if you've watched my videos, you know that I love powerful regenerative braking. Not because it's charging the battery. That's a plus. That's a bonus too. I like that. But that's not why I like it. I like it because it saves my brake pads. I don't want to ruin my brake pads. I don't want to wear my brake pads out. Why would I want to do that? I like low maintenance. I don't want to change brake pads, even though they're very easy to change, and I can order them and they don't cost that much. You know, they're like, I think they're around $10, $15, maybe $20 a pair. If you look around, you can usually find a bulk amount of them for a little bit more. You can get like a bag of brake pads, right? I don't want to be burning brake pads up though. Why put all that dust in the air too, right? What's in those brake pads? I don't think it's very good. There was a law that was passed that you can't use asbestos in brake pads anymore. And then you know what someone told me, and several people told me this that were mechanics. They said, oh, well, yeah, we can't use asbestos in brake pads, but we can ship brake pads in from overseas that have asbestos in them. So it didn't change anything. They're just coming from overseas. Now, I don't know if that's been changed now. I don't know if it's still allowed to import asbestos brake pads that have any degree of asbestos in there or anything that would be harmful for our lungs, for us to breathe, right? I don't know if that's allowed. So anyone that wants to look into that can look into that. But I just thought that's not the reason to do that. The reason to have a law like that is to protect people from, I mean, I don't really know. Maybe, I guess if you looked it up, we could figure out what that law was all about. And again, this is just what I was told by mechanics. So I don't know. I don't actually know. I didn't look this up myself. But what I will say is that I totally lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Okay, what were we talking about, everybody? I lost my train of thought. It'll come back. Programming. Okay, so let's see if we can program the scooter to make it similar, to my other scooter I had, because I just like those settings. I prefer the smoothness of the sine wave controllers of this scooter. I do prefer that. I used to think it was fun to have all that power on the square wave controllers of the Dualtron Storm. And I think all the Dualtron scooters, most of them or all of them, have the square wave. But once I got used to the sine wave with the different scooters I had, I really like it now. I just like, because the power is still there and it's smooth. So let's see what we can do. I got to do this again because I waited too long. So let's turn it off. Let's see if we can do this. It has to be done within a certain time period of turning the scooter on. So we have passcodes all turned on. Right, so that's on, and I'm going to hold this down. Let's see if it'll let me in the menu without putting it on gear 5 with dual motor. Let's see if it lets me, but I'm not sure if it will. It looks like it's letting me in there. Okay, so let's go to level 2. I don't know how fast level 2 is, but I'm going to go to all the levels, and I'm going to turn on the regen brake to maximum if I can. So we can see here that it's allowing 30 amps to the controllers. Look, ABS, electronic braking system, is at level 2. Let's go in there and max that out, because I like maximum electric brakes, right? I just love saving my brake pads. And I also like the feeling of that magnetic resistance, I'll call it. I just love that. I mean, we're interacting with the 0-point field there, everyone. And if you are familiar with my channel, you know that I love the 0-point field, and I also love the material universe. And guess what? They power one another. It's what do you call it? It's an over unity system, to say the least. It's over unity. Because the material universe powers the 0-point field, and the 0-point field powers the material universe, but somehow the 0-point field has like 10 to the 40th times more power potential than the material universe, right? We have two forms of energy charging one another. I just love that. Okay, let's go back to this. Wolf King GT Pro, everyone. Here we are. So, if you want to learn about that, just study particle physics. So study electrodynamics and particle physics. And if you study both of those, and then that's how you can make more efficient circuitry, and you can have you can have your circuits running. We can have like range extenders on scooters and electric bikes and electric cars and all that stuff. You have to study electrodynamics and particle physics, both. If you just study electrodynamics, you're not going to get there. You have to study both of those, and you have to have them collaborate together. They have to work together. Okay, so we have that on level 5 now. We're going to leave the power, let's see, acceleration. Yeah, we're going to leave everything else low. Speed limitation 80%. We're going to leave all that. Now, to make it save the setting, we have to go to exit, right? But let me change all of these, because I want every single one of these. I want my braking to be maximum, right, on every single one. I was just realizing I could do that today. I thought, oh my goodness, I can change all of these to the maximum brake power. So we have 1 and 2 is done. Let's do 3. We'll turn up the electronic braking on that to the highest one. And hopefully you'll save when I'm doing it this way, meaning I'm changing all of the settings. I'm not exiting each one at a time. Electronic ABS 5. I wish it had, you know, it goes to level 5. I wish it went to level 10, you know. I want even stronger electronic braking. And even more than that, what Segway was experimenting with, and I don't know if they'll bring it back or if it's back already or if they'll ever bring it back. I'm not sure what the status is. But Segway on the GT2, and I don't know if it's the GT1 as well, but they had it where when you let off the accelerator, you could have a setting where just by letting off the accelerator, it would slow down the scooter really fast. And some electric cars have that ability. Like the BMW i3 has that. They call it one pedal driving, where you give it acceleration, and then when you let off, it slows down. It's like you don't need to touch the brake. The brake is just letting off the accelerator. Well, Segway was experimenting with that. I think they had done that, but I'm not sure if people were complaining about it or not. I mean, not everybody's going to like that. I think people should have the ability to turn that on and off. If you can turn that off, I don't see any reason for people to be against it, because they don't have to use it. If you don't like it, don't use it. If you like it, turn it on. That's it. And it needs to have a clear warning of what that is, because if you don't know what's going to happen and then it stops when you let off the accelerator, I could see that you might go flying over the handlebars. I could understand that. I could see that happening. Okay, let's see. So we're on level 5 already. Okay, so let's exit this one, and then we're going to exit this, and then 5's already at 5, right? That's already at 5. Okay, so now we're going to go exit everything, and I was told you have to exit. If you don't exit all the way, it doesn't save. I was told that it saves when you exit. Okay, so now it's all saved. That should all be saved now. And I hope that this is all in focus. That's a big plane up there. Look at that. But I will tell you, it's really hard for me to see airplanes. It's really hard for me to see airplanes and not see the electrogravitic technology that was developed long ago by scientists all over the world, where we just use high voltage potential to levitate crafts. John Searle did it, and many others did it. There's many people that did this, and the military was excited about working with many of these inventors, and you know, so then it becomes where they work on it and we may not hear what they're doing with it. But to me, a lot of great things have come from the military. A lot of technologies have come from there. And I think we're completely ready for electrogravitic technology right now. We're ready for it yesterday. But the way it can be used and limited, and I'll just tell you right now, it's kind of obvious when people talk to me about this. It's very obvious, but I'll say it because, you know, some things are obvious to some people and not to everyone, right? Is you just limit the height of how something goes. You limit the height to a few inches. Or 6 inches, you know what I mean? We don't need things flying around in the sky. I mean, the airplanes can do that. The airplanes, you can have electrogravitic airplanes. They wouldn't be called an electrogravitic airplane. I don't know if it's still called an airplane, but we could have electrogravitic airplanes where they're not pushing air, right? They're using high voltage, I guess, generators. I guess you'd have batteries, a power system. We're going to be using we're using the 0-point field already. We're already using the 0-point field. There's no way not to use the 0-point field, okay? We're using it when we walk. Everything's made up of it. The material universe is powered by the 0-point field, and the material universe powers the 0-point field, and the 0-point field powers the material universe. They power one another. To learn that, study particle physics and electrodynamics. You can study everything else you wanted to too, but I'm just saying those are the two that I was recommended to study in my research and study. It's focused down to that. But a learning of anything enriches knowledge of all other things, right? It expands our capacity to learn. So it would be really neat to have this scooter where it could levitate a couple inches off the ground and you have full control, right? It would feel like it's still touching the ground. It would literally feel like that. You could accelerate quick, you could stop quickly. So that technology is all already developed. It's been being developed for a very long time. And I think people are ready for it. People keep saying, oh, we're waiting for society and for civilization to mature enough. People just aren't mature enough to have that technology. I mean, that just is the strangest thing I think I've ever heard. That's so weird to hear that, because, you know, what you do is education. It's all about education, right? We know that. We educate. This can be, you know, we just get a license for it. And if you don't pass, you can't use it. If you pass, you use it. It's simple as that. It's like a car, right? You can't drive a car without a license. I mean, you're not supposed to. So anyway, everyone, this is it. We're going to wrap this up. You saw how I programmed that. I'm really excited about riding it now on the lower power level. So I'm going to find what number most replicates the 25-mile-an-hour speed. And when I find that, I'm going to ride the scooter at that speed. And I'm just going to keep working on those, on the programming of that. And I'll make more videos of the programming as I learn more about it. I'll keep making videos on the programming so that you can see what I'm doing on that. But also you can learn yourself by just reading up on it and watching videos. All right, everyone, have a great day. True Zero Emissions signing off. Until next time. Bye, everyone.